Hi guys, Marc Seymour from TRG here. Thank you for joining me today for riteSCAN's deep dive into labor posting and labor tracking. Now, labor tracking is a new addition to riteSCAN, really powerful addition for those organizations wanting to track accurate labor against operations. Let's jump right in. So as per usual, I'm going to sign in. I'm using the Windows client. The touchscreen Windows client, and I'm presented with the inventory screen. I'm going to jump right over to manufacturing. Now, we all know what a labor post is. Now, riteSCAN offers two very, very simple, easy to use modules for the capture of labor. The first being standard labor post. Now here, very simple. I simply enter my job number in, and I could have configured riteSCAN to now allow for the capture of any particular detail against an operation within the job. So in this case, I'm just going to select and browse. I'm going to select the operation, and here I could enter or scan in my machine number or use this browse, which will pick up from SYSPRO or the applicable available machines. And now, if configured, I can call for the capture of setup, startup, run, teardown. I can configure the rate, and further down, specify the employee, quantity complete, scrap reason code, all of that. Now, this is a simple capture front end. If you are one of those businesses where you do capture labor, but you're happy with an operator simply entering in the time that he feels he used on that function, this is a really quick and easy to implement little function that you can make use of in riteSCAN. If you are a business that is looking for more detailed functionality around labor tracking, make use of riteSCAN's new labor tracking function. Now, this really cool feature, pretty straightforward. I have a screen like this potentially splashed on touchscreens throughout my production facility. An operator approaches, enters or scans in their employee code, and I can simply tap in for the day. So it includes some very simple, easy to use, almost time and attendance type features, but I have clocked in, I say I'm in for the day, and I'm presented with two other options, out for the day and out for break. Make use of the kind of time and attendance functionality, or simply in the riteSCAN administration panel, you can turn that off. So what can we move on to here? Tasks. Very simply, an operator just taps on Start New Task. Here they might scan in a job card. In this particular case, we're just going to use job 666. If I want, I can view the job and I can see the operations against that job. I'm going to pick the attached rear and front wheel. And riteSCAN has populated with the operation number, the work center applicable. And here I have the ability to enter in my machine. I'm just going to drop in test for the time being. I can, if allowed, select what my time type is, run time, setup, startup, teardown, whatever is configured within SYSPRO, and I can then start my job. Now, very easily, what happens, we return back to the simple login screen. riteSCAN is showing us, one, that we are logged in, two, here is the task that we are functioning on, and I can now log out and go and perform whatever functions or effectively work on that particular operation. When I'm done, I can come back to the terminal. I simply scan my ID and we pop in and we can see here is that active task. What can I do now? I can simply tap on the line and say stop task. Here, depending on what I've configured riteSCAN to ask me for, it can ask me various bits and pieces. First of all, how many did I manufacture? I could say I've done 5. Was there any scrap? Yes, there was 1. Any particular reason code damaged? Again, a reference and note if need be, but you'll notice down here we've defaulted to perform a job receipt. So this, use or don't use, but what's going to happen now is when I stop my job, automatically riteSCAN is now going to present me with the job receipt screen. And you'll see what it's done is it's defaulted with the quantity that I stated I completed. There is additional functionality here that if you wish to include scrap quantity in the receipted amount, that can be added on. In this particular case, you might have seen the job receipting screen, but we are called for a bin and then we can post that through. Any validations that apply from SYSPRO. Here we're being told that the outstanding quantity to issue remains for allocation. So that's telling us that there is materials that have not been issued. Are we sure we want to continue? This case, for the purpose of demonstration, we're going to say yes. And what's happened? We return back to our login screen. That task has been removed from our menu, and we could go ahead and log out and another user can continue to use. Or alternatively, start a new job and continue as per usual. If I'm using the basic time and attendance functionality, I could say I'm out for a break and it automatically logs me out. That time is suspended and I go and have my lunch or my tea break. When I return, I can scan back in. I say I'm in from a break and I could start a new job, or I will just simply resume working on the task I was working on prior to clocking out. Now, this is really useful, really powerful labor and shop floor data collection functionality that exists now in riteSCAN. It is, again, sold on a modular basis, so if you want it, you can just add it on whenever need be. riteSCAN does have a sister product called riteTime, which is a far more detailed, far more in-depth time and or labor tracking solution available to you that would take your labor tracking up to the next level if that's what's required. However, labor tracking as it stands, with the ability to bolt on job receipts, to bolt on issues or specific issues and kit issues, as well as some very basic time and attendance type functionality, is a really powerful, useful addition to the riteSCAN product. Not only that, this data is stored in its own SQL database. Now, riteSCAN does not typically use a SQL database. It talks directly to SYSPRO. In this instance, information that's held here is not SYSPRO related information, and we hold that in its own SQL database. The reason being is to make it available for reporting. So included within the riteSCAN labor tracking module is a really powerful and simple to use reporting function, which will allow you to analyze all the information you might want to related to your labor data clocking. So for any further detail, or you want to take a closer look and see how this module could apply or be applied in your environment, please get hold of us at sales@trg.co.za. Otherwise, enjoy some of the other deep dive videos, and thank you for coming. Great time. Cheers.